So you guys might have this fantasy, or not a fantasy, maybe just an idea, that when you think of an authoritarian communist country like China or Vietnam or Laos or one of these, or North Korea, right? These governments always promote their citizens as being the most moral people in the entire world and upstanding people. They ban things like pornography and stuff like that. So you would think that those people wouldn't be cheating on their spouse, wouldn't be cheating on their husband and wife. And yeah, stereotypes like father or mother. A father, and when I think about a Chinese father, I'll think of strict, upstanding, very silent, doesn't talk too much, right? And the mother, she's scurrying around cleaning the house, doing the dishes, cooking for everybody.
Taking care of the kids.
I'm about to flip all the stereotypes on their head because this portrayal that these governments like to give you, well, at least in China, is definitely not true right now. Because, holy crap, a lot of Chinese people are cheating on each other right now. Hey Laowinners, this is Law86 here with another video, and I'm joined by my beautiful wife here, who is dressed to the nines, is what they say, and it looks almost like she's trying to cheat on me. We're not one of those channels, so you might be disappointed. You might be disappointed. I should actually name this like "My wife is cheating on me."
Oh no,
dude, that would be the biggest clickbait ever. I actually might think about that.
Oh.
Anyway, this video is completely unscripted, off the cuff. And we wanted to talk about something that actually has been affecting us personally, but not us personally, just the people that we know.
Yeah.
Because we do not, in fact, cheat on each other. However, we do know a lot of people that do. And before I want to set the stage here, this is not a video to say, like an accusational video to say all Chinese people cheat on each other.
No.
That is not what we're trying to say. What we are trying to say, though, is that there is a huge uptick in the amount of people cheating on each other, at least in our age bracket. And we're trying to figure out why. So instead of me and you having a conversation behind the scenes, we decided just to turn the camera on and just try to figure it out for you guys.
We're also welcome you guys to give some suggestion and discuss with us.
Suggesting how to cheat, where to cheat, how to get away with it, what websites to use. Now, jokes aside, there is a massive thing where when I went to China, I lived there for 10 years. When I was there, a lot of people would ask me, why do American people cheat on each other so much? And obviously, I could explain away most of that because it's Hollywood, right? Their experience with seeing people cheating on each other or relationships or affairs, this is all on TV shows or movies, right? So that was easy to explain away, and most people understood. They're like, I get it, it's not real life, right? But that being said, in general, the infidelity rate of America compared to China is much higher. And although we don't have any like solid figures about China's, like how many people are cheating on each other, the rate of that, we do understand the divorce rate, which has exploded in recent years in China to the point where it's past the US's divorce rate. So we can look at those figures, but we can also look at personal anecdotes of people that have been cheating on each other. So what is actually happening here? So we're getting phone calls from friends and people we know in China, and they are basically saying that it's quite normal to cheat on each other. So they're saying, I'm cheating on my husband's cheating on me. Is that something that they're talking to each other about, or is it just something they know and just kind of like let happen?
First of all, they don't talk to each other about this. It just become like, two people at the beginning, they are not actually attractive to each other. Because of the reality, because of the material thing, they become they made a family. They have kids and everything, the wealth and everything. When they totally settle, there's just this stranger is even way more stranger than it should be. There's no passion, there's no spark. Even if two people fall in love at the beginning, they still have the chance to be apart.
Sure.
How do you think like two people don't have a
So that's another big cause, is that it's familial pressure to be with somebody that you're not necessarily in love with. So that old hangover of Chinese culture where it's like, we're going to provide a wife or a husband for you. It's not necessarily arranged marriage, but it's like pressure. You have pressure to marry a certain type of person at least. So that, of course, there's going to be a lack of love. However, if we're going to say that that's the cause of all this cheating and stuff, we have to address the fact that people did this before and they weren't cheating on each other as much. So why are they cheating more on each other now?
The first of all, the society change. We claim is more open, which means like
I always hated that word in China.
you are allowed to divorce. You are accepted in the society. You can survive in the society as long as you have
couldn't.
wealth.
Yeah.
So it's not a case anymore. So back then, when my parents and grandparents' generation, man, you can see how much they hate each other.
Yeah.
They just don't divorce.
But they don't divorce.
They beat the crap out of each other. They don't divorce. But now it's like, I don't like you.
So you're saying it's the option, right?
Yeah.
So you think the cheating thing has just become an option, right?
Yeah.
What I will say though is that back then still Chinese men often cheated on their wives, but now I rarely saw women cheating on their husbands. Before you think it's like some sort of normal thing, they're saying it's normal, but they're calling because they need advice or they're having problems and it's causing massive drama and problems in their life still. Why, compared to when I was in China from 2000, let's say that like the 2010 to 2020 era, why wasn't there as much cheating as there is now? What's happening now?
What's happening is the people who was born in our generation has already been married for a while.
So we're talking like 19. We're mid 80s, all the way up until the early 90s, right?
Technically, it's right now what it reflects. The majority of people should be the 80s kids.
Okay, gotcha.
The 80s kid, like, according to what I know, a lot of people who actually get involved with cheating, like betraying each other, I think mostly it's because our generation, most of the kids are single child now.
They're only children, yeah.
I have to admit, the majority of us, we are spoiled. The majority of the only child personality, they have huge defect. Because everybody keep eyes on you. You're just like the huge giant baby for like generation to generation. Almost like 3 generations put eyes on you, one yourself.
Sure.
And in a house, we don't do anything. We're still like a baby. Parents pamper us, and the society, if you are actually born in a fairly well-off level of family, and then later in life you go out to work and stuff, you know, you're also surrounding those people. And we're saying like our generation of marriage are not arranged marriage, but that's bull. That's total bull. Because people still in our generation talk about 门当户对. Of course, it's not traditional like back then, but at least we're looking for the same family status. And does that guy have money, have car, have good job, have house? All those things. That's for the first priority. And that he come from a really good family. So nowadays is the girls actually looking for those kind of thing. So
it's not people getting in love, falling in love with each other's personalities. The priority is that they're getting matching someone or dating up.
Yeah,
right.
They're dating up, and the problem is because of that, and they get married. Like how much love can build. It's not like our parents' generation. You're not allowed to get divorced. If you divorce other. The whole society abandon you, especially for women. So women will swallow the pride. But nowadays, like people more praise for, women can do everything. We need to treat women better and stuff. But actually, it's still a man's society.
Yeah.
But it just, women have a command now. So women feels like they can do something in their life. So I don't like my husband. I can find someone better. Yeah,
I mean, like, the problem is I see a lot of people that are trying to claim that China is becoming this feminist society where, like, women have power, and it's just not the case. You do see more women taking their relationship into their own hands, but women are not getting ahead in the workplace.
No.
They're not commanding more respect. They are getting away with more personal stuff.
No.
Like the cheating.
Yeah, personally, my experience is like being a woman, working very hard in the big companies still 10 times harder than men. Like you need to be careful about your personal safety, and yet you still need to expand your career. That's like,
yeah, I mean, like guys are still forcing women to drink and take advantage of them. It still happens.
When, those families start to maturing, their passion is dying, their honeymoon phase is dying. They saw other people, they found each other.
So they wait, basically. They're in a situation where they waited, they locked down into marriage, and then all of a sudden later, now they figured out, oh, I'm kind of attracted to this other person. They get to know each other. So you're saying they're dating after they're married, basically.
Yes.
So you understand, this is what I always said to Chinese people when I lived in China, is that typically in the West, at least in America, I dated a lot of girls before I got married, because then I know what kind of relationship I want, and we get to know each other. That's kind of like how normally it happens. Of course, you hear about high school sweethearts and stuff, but by and large, you'll date a lot of people until you find the right one. Whereas in China, it's gotten to a point now where people would lock down forever and just kind of be suffering in their own relationship because they don't know that person. They're probably not gonna cheat on each other, at least the woman not cheating on the man. And then just deal with it for the rest of their life. Just shit cool or eat bitter. Suffer through it. Whereas now there's options. There's escapes, and society has given them like an excuse to do it, you're saying. It's like, they're doing it, so why can't I do it? Right?
It's like, oh, my life is suffering. I don't love my husband. I don't like my wife anymore. It's just another way of being spoiled. It's a responsibility for the family. Right. I can't get divorced, but I found another woman is really attractive, and which... The funny thing is, like, as the information I know, the people I know that they cheat on each other, usually 10 out of 10 they're all married couples.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to bring up, of course.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, they're cheating with other married people. But it's making it sound like it's such a normal thing, and what the problem with that is that these people's lives are being destroyed because of this. A lot more of that kind of stuff where you see like violence in the street of like, how dare you do this type of thing. All the friend circles falling apart, affecting their work lives because they get accused of certain things. This is all actually having an effect. It's not just like, oh, we've agreed to cheat on each other. It's still a hidden thing, and it's destroying their relationships and lives. It's just become like, oh, it's almost like a vice. It's almost like, I can drink because they're drinking. Oh, I can do drugs because they're doing drugs. It's just like, oh, everyone else is doing it, so I can do it now. It's become like that.
They facing real life. The passion's gone. Like, real life is just nothing like the soap opera roller coaster thing. But now have the little other people trying to like, oh, give you flower, give you the attention you want. And you just feel like, oh, you're alive again,
so you're
young
saying,
again. Basically,
in a normal relationship where they did get along and they did love each other, it just becomes boring to them because of all this stuff that they see, whether it's on TV or whether it's other friend circles doing this. It becomes a temptation. But that is a temptation anywhere. There's nothing Chinese about that. That's nonsense.
Yeah, but society is like, oh, the girl will grow up together. We say, let's go to KTV. Let's go hook up with some boys and have
That's why is that different than anywhere? There's nothing specifically Chinese about that.
They get married. They already married.
There's nothing Chinese about that.
And then they encourage each other.
Okay, so an American couple that feels like they're, oh, whatever, I'm kind of bored now, and we used to be in love, and now there's no passion anymore. Then they start hanging out with people that do stuff like that. It's not different. There's nothing Chinese about that.
No, let's say 80s kids in America. They love each other. They have their life together, and all of a sudden the passion is gone. But still, it's like 50-50. I have to say, like, safely say 50-50. Half the people, they still madly in love after 7 years, 10 years. Another half was
I would agree with you.
Yeah, but this part is not.
It's like the majority of people are not madly in love anymore.
They're never madly in love with each other.
Yeah, but you brought up the fact that there is a group of people that were in love with each other in the beginning.
It's like very small group
so the majority of people, we're getting to the point where now I'm understanding. The majority of people were not in love to begin with.
Yes.
So that gives them the moral excuse to be able to go do something like that.
Yes, and then like when the small group is there, and then the big group, the big society, we're saying like, it's okay, let's just do this.
So the people that are in love, but they maybe lost some passion or whatever, they're being influenced by the people that have made this okay, that have made this a thing.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree with you. To get to the point about how people are doing this, it's happening at bars. A lot of bars. So women will go and hook up with younger men. This is like a huge thing.
小鲜肉.
There's like some guys that sometimes are married, sometimes they're not. They will go find cougars, basically, to find married women to go hook up with. Usually these married women are not that old, though. We're talking about like someone like your age.
Like,
you're in your 30s, right? So these like maybe mid or late 20-year-old guys will go hook up with those women because they, you know, women in their 30s still look good, right?
Ooh, busted.
I gotcha.
One of my friend even said like, you know, sexual relationship is for physical. Love, save it to the wife. They think that's moral.
You separate those two things. And
like,
I guess
this kind of society is just sick.
Well,
sick.
Yeah, without being incredibly judgmental, I think it's just very important to clear up the reasons here. So you're saying it's mostly societal pressure because people have come to the conclusion now that it's not that big of a deal because they deserve something better. That's what I'm getting out of it. I deserve something better because I am important and I want this and I want this.
Everything is me,
selfishness.
I.
It is. In China, on mainland China is a massively, that's why you wouldn't see something like this in Taiwan. You don't see the massive amounts of cheating and infidelity in a place like Taiwan because it's not a super selfish society. It's a society where people help each other. It's a society with a lot of morals and people are linked up to each other. Whereas somewhere in mainland China, you guys might have this fantasy that China is this unbelievably moral society or something like this, and you just couldn't be more wrong. This is not a criticism on Chinese society, but I have to say that Chinese society is, by and large, not a moral place. It is not a moral place. It is one where people value their family very much, and they have close familial ties, and maybe if you have some personal connections, that is important. But it's largely a very selfish society. Mm-hmm. And I will say that does excuse some of the cheating behavior, and I think it would shock a lot of people to find out that it's that prevalent, it's that common now. And I'm more surprised that the women are doing it so publicly now. I guess props to them, though. I mean, why not? Why not? But the final point I wanted to make was something that people like to latch onto, and that is the lack of religion. Okay. Now, I'm a religious person. You are not, right? We still get along. We still love each other. And we still appreciate each other's values, and we still are moral people. That being said, a lot of people like to look at the lack of religion as the reason that China has so many problems, so many ailments, right? That's why I wanted to explain why it got so bad with the cheating. It's gotten progressively worse because the Chinese society has not celebrated morality. It hasn't said, we are a moral people, we all come together and believe in something higher. I don't want to completely point the finger at a lack of religion, but it definitely has something to do with it. And then exacerbate with that with the fact that people are getting together with someone they don't even love. And then because of familial... Or
they have a little feeling.
But familial pressure pushed them into this relationship that might not even be real. And yeah, it's just a huge, massive issue. So with the parents-in-law just getting involved all the time, it's always this heavy-handed approach. And I feel like it really pushes couples apart, especially when money's involved, because that's the thing, it's always involved. Money is always involved.
Never not.
It's never not involved.
They get married at the beginnings because of money.
That's true. Now, this is not a blanket thing about saying all Chinese people are cheating on each other, but what we wanted to say is that we found it very strange because our friend group in America doesn't cheat on each other, and our friend group in China started cheating on each other. And the friends are not different. They're the same type of people. We were shocked that our friend group in China this started happening with them, so we looked more into it and we asked more people. And our Chinese friends and people that we know here were saying the exact same thing, that very recently people started cheating on each other a lot now. And it's causing a lot of issues, and we just wanted to talk about maybe why that is, and hopefully you guys can come to your own conclusion about that. I want to say thank you to everyone on patreon.com/Laowai86. You guys are the only reason we can do this. And also, I talk to you guys every single Monday to Friday, every single morning, over coffee or whatever. You can send me messages and I reply directly to you. You guys keep this channel alive. Thank you so much, Laowinners. I'll catch you
on the next one.